Alright, well, it's live on YouTube. And welcome to the YouTube part. This is Kaylee and this is Amber. We are talking about the Mandela effect. I have it set up on Spotify of the podcast. Go and look up BioWar Podcast. I just started and about to start talking about the Mandela effect. You'll know what it is when I start. Send this. Alright, I'm just waiting for them to join. Somebody just joined the YouTube. Can't tell. Well, hello.
Hello.
Today on this podcast, we are starting to talk about the Mandela effect of how it is affecting our world, what changes it's made to our world, where it came from, and what it's doing to us. We're just sitting here waiting for other people to join. Right now we have me, Kaylee, Amber, and the person that just joined. Alright. So, one second, the page is loading. So this is what you wrote right here.
Wait, what? Yeah.
Alright. I'm going to start off with the origins of the Mandela effect. The term Mandela effect was first coined in 2009 by Fiona Broome when she created a website to deal with her observance of the phenomenon. Broome was at a conference talking with other people about how she remembered the tragedy of the former South African president Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, everybody thought he died in prison.
Oh, you joined?
I thought it's good. It's a good joke.
That's where the origin of Mandela effect came from. But
Yeah, the one that fucks me up the most is the Berenstain Bears.
we'll get to that in a little bit.
That's the one that fucks me up the most.
Now, before we get to the examples of stuff, we need to go a little bit deeper. What originally created the Mandela effect is a program called CERN. Do either of you know what that is? Anybody?
Yep. They're
I know.
Never heard of it.
in a whole statue in front of their and I saw a video of this dude that videotape they just had a whole ritual and they stabbed this
We'll get into that later. We'll get into that later in the podcast. But CERN is a European Organization of Nuclear Research, aka CERN for short. They study in different type of experiments with opening portals, creating electricity, different particles in general. They had a laboratory. Sorry, it's something on my eye. They had a laboratory that it had 2,600 scientists in it and they opened a portal back in like 2001 that CERN has been turning on and off multiple times throughout of my lifetime. And that's what's caused these chain reactions of random mass acts of violence, the random terrorist attack, is because of this machine that they're messing with. It's opening portals to other dimensions. And that... And...
You know what that reminds me of?
Yes.
Stranger Things.
Yep, that's what I was just about to say.
Everybody else.
Stranger Things.
Yep.
That's exactly what's on this topic also, is Stranger Things. Because when they're opening portals to different dimensions, they're bringing in what is the closest dimension to ours, our world right now. What's the very closest one. And that's where, like you said, Berenstain Bears comes in.
Bro, the closest dimension is the upside down.
That's where it's headed to. But the ones that are to where it can stay in reality of light and happiness, that's why you have the monocle on the Monopoly guy. That's gone. When you have Curious George's tail disappearing. Looney Tunes with two O's turning to UNS. Cheez-Its, they changed it from Cheez It ITZ to ITS.
Darth Vader.
Skechers.
And like Amanda said, Darth
Amber.
Vader,
And
Amber,
Skechers.
Like- like Amber just said, Darth Vader going from Luke, I am your father, to no, I am your father. There's multiple things to change this whole... They're changing reality as we know it. Slowly but surely. It's like picking ice away.
Yeah. I think it's to make us look dumb. Like, no, this was like this the whole time.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is. Now, who remembers... Okay, I want everybody to answer this question. Does Pikachu have a black stripe on his tail?
I thought so. I just was reading about that. I swore that it had a black stripe at the top of his tail, but it says it's solid yellow.
Yeah. Because it was like, it matched his ears.
Yeah, I
It was
remember
always
that.
a black stripe on his tail, but you're called crazy.
It was at like the tip of his tail
Yeah.
too. It wasn't like.
And
Oh, what's my phone doing?
I don't know. Ask your phone.
It's fucking zooming in on my screen for no reason.
Another one that here's something that I personally went through with the Mandela effect. Everybody that knows me knows my favorite band is Five Finger Death Punch. Okay. There was I know every song, like you know your specific favorite album, your favorite song, your favorite artist.
Bro, I know where you're going with this.
Front to back. You lived through this because I discovered this with you, Mudry.
Yeah, dude, I fucking remember that shit.
Front to back, I know this whole album. All of a sudden, after CERN gets turned on, 3 new songs are on the album that never existed. That's
That happened with so many artists that I know.
it happens with Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Linkin Park. The list goes on and on. Particular type of movies. Example.
Sex in the City. Well, that's a show.
Yep. Sex in the City.
Snow White.
Snow White. There's one movie in particular called Shazam, not the newer one, the older one. People have vivid memories of watching that when they're a child on VCR tapes. That movie does not exist now.
I remember it being called Kazam, not Shazam.
Kazam.
Oh, yeah. Cousin.
So, any of you have any personal things that you went through and it blew your brain of the Mandela effect?
Tanner, you were with me when it happened.
You gotta refresh my memory, so much other stuff has happened.
Dude, I was listening to like one of my favorite bands, and I was like, bro, where the fuck did this song come from?
Oh yeah, that was around the same time that with what I just mentioned previously.
Yeah. What'd she say? Anyway. My bad. They're not around. Sorry for my roommates, guys.
Oh, it's fine.
No. So, do you hear, like,
One of the other things that is an example of the Mandela effect. How do you pronounce the thing from Snow White with the mirror?
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the prettiest of them all, right?
You all are wrong. It's
Now it's
magic mirror on the wall.
Yeah, that's
weird.
That's can't be.
How do you spell Oscar Mayer?
That's one of the things I wrote down.
Do you want to go over that one?
So I'm asking my roommate real quick. Do you have any experiences with like Mandela effects? Like it's when one thing you think it's one way and then it's the other. It's like polar opposite. I don't know. I have. Curious to like what the tail like actually does. That's great. I love that. I swear I was this guy's presidential. It's like, he's gay. And I'm like, no, he's fucking not. It's like, oh my God.
What?
She said her gaydar is pretty bad.
Huh. Do you want to go over the Meyer one?
So the Oscar Mayer Wiener one is about people remember it being spelled M-E-Y-R, but it's M-A-Y-R. So I swear it was M-E-Y-R.
Yeah, because they had a whole theme
The
song.
song, yeah, my grandma used to sing it to me when I was a kid.
That's imprinted in my brain too, because that stupid commercial.
Yeah. That's
And-
Hi, Amber.
Hi, Kaylee.
How are you?
I'm alright. How are you?
Oh, I'm living like Larry.
See, look, there's the Shazam example that we just went over, the Pikachu example. Wait,
I have one that I don't think that.
there's a Mickey Mouse example?
Mickey Mouse.
It's dying. Oh my God, did you hear that?
What?
Say it again. I said, ring around the rosy. Like when you're a kid, like, you know, you hold hands and you like all fall down, but it's really about like kids dying and like their ashes.
Oh yeah, that's another topic, a whole other topic about demonic kid songs and how it's setting them up to become suppressed, used, and molested. It's a whole other topic.
You should see my face right now. My face just got really up. Ah, that's fine. Anyway.
One that I don't think is on there is the Mona Lisa's smile. People say that like they remember her smiling, but she's not smiling in the picture.
I remember that
I think
too.
she remembers. I don't think I remember her smiling because we had to do like a thing on her in art when I was in like 4th grade, and she definitely had a smirk. Maybe not a smile. but
Not
there
a
was
full
smirk.
blown creepy smile, but
Yeah.
like the side eye smirk.
Lips closed. Yeah.
Okay, so one of the personal Mandela effects that I went through, the specific town that I used to live in on a bike trail. It was on my old TikTok. I will go into the archives and pull up the video. Bamboo does not grow in Ohio. I'm talking about bamboo in my timeline. If you are listening to this and you think bamboo grows in Ohio, you are not from my timeline. There are no pandas walking around Ohio.
I never thought bamboo grew in Ohio. They do. Yeah, they grow it at a zoo.
That's the most it grows at. But no, I was walking along a bike trail and there was random bamboo. Random, like, think of this. It looks identical to an orange, but it's a berry. It's not the little squishy, it looks like an orange, identical but tiny. And this just happened after the hydrogen particle accelerator turned on. And everybody that is known, everyone that knows that it turns on, seen it on the news, it messed up a lot of stuff. That's the best way to word that right now. It made, because think of this. It went from being from normal, they turned it on, COVID. Normal, we got back from that, normal, turn it on, riots. And
They're activated.
what's coming next after they turn it on is zombies. They've been preparing us for this. That's another topic too, but
Yo, my phone's gonna die. I'll join back later.
alright.
Alright, peace.
Right. Do you have any memories of the Mandela effect?
Think of.
Try thinking of one or two examples.
You have to give me some time. I honestly don't know.
Like, it's like a muscle. Because I wake up and I'm tired sometimes.
That sounds like a stoner's comment.
And
That sounds like a stoner's comment.
it's not stone. No, so I wake up. I'm just tired.
That's because you're getting too much sleep. That's another topic too. But anything that you have over here that you've been writing about a bit.
I was just looking up some of the effects and stuff, and like what people like what could be causes of the Mandela effect, which is like obviously like time travel and like messing with alternate universes or different dimensions and just going back and changing like just something that you did differently in that timeline. You're changing something in our world, you know, and that could be a cause. Or I've never heard of this, but and I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but confabulations.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. No, it's like I was looking up why the Mandela effect happens. So like you were talking about the certain thing. I don't know everything about that, but I do believe like I know about the like different realities and dimensions and changing that. But confabulations is like it says that it's something when your brain fills in the missing bits from your memory, but it's when those gaps in the memory are filled by some other information that makes the whole thing make sense. So like I don't know if that's kind of like they're trying to debunk the Mandela effect or not, but just a little bit of something.
I just found more information right here how long CERN's been around. It's been around since 1973.
Oh my goodness.
And that explains a lot.
My phone died.
What type of charger does it need?
Regular Android.
I have to look around for that.
Like sometimes when I wake up, I feel like I'm on another dimension.
That's what another thing. Oh, here's a picture. This is explaining the internal components of CERN and what they're doing with the particles. So, I know you've watched this, Kaylee. The Flash show.
Yes.
I watched Flash.
Do you know the thing that Dr. Harrison Wells turns on and activates to give Flash's powers?
Yeah.
That's a particle accelerator.
Yeah. Okay, I know what that is.
And that's what they created it in real life, and that's why it's creating rifts in time and space, is because they made it in real life and it's messing with our timeline.
Yeah.
And we're not getting into time travel because time travel is a big topic by itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else is there with this? I'm gonna play a clip. Everyone on here would hold on. Everyone on the podcast would only hear the audio, but I'm playing a clip.
Tinkerbell.
Yep. Tinkerbell. Who here remembers Tinkerbell going over the Walt Disney's castle and dotting the I?
I don't remember that.
I remember.
That doesn't exist.
Really?
It does not exist at all.
Here in the intros. The logo.
Looney Tunes, we already went over that one.
It was always written like that.
No, it was 2 O's. Because I always compared it to Fruit Loops.
Mandela effects.
There's a lot of different stuff that is crazy about Mandela effect. And recently, one of the things that CERN did when they turned it on, I don't know if you know about the weird screaming back in 2019. They thought it was Mothman, they thought it was a banshee.
I feel like I do remember that.
Like it was on the news too, but
Yeah.
weird screaming. That had to do with CERN, and it was ripping open a portal and demons were coming through. And that also is affected with the Mandela effect because when you have, how do I word this right? When it's coming through the portal, it affects us also on all ends.
Yeah.
What came through changed our reality. I don't know if we crossed into a world that was similar to ours or not. Okay, so you tell some examples of what you had with the Mandela effect. Say a little more, if you don't mind.
I would notice sometimes, like screams and roars and
That's the demon topic. That's not Mandela effect.
well, I don't have much.
Okay, so you don't remember anything from your childhood that was a specific way, and now you look back at it and changed.
The Sex in the City thing.
There's the Febreze bottle. Spray
The
bottle.
Febreze too. I forgot about the Febreze. The
Do you
word,
remember that one?
the Sex in the City. I remember that because when I was younger, I was being a stupid horny boy, and I thought that was a porn video.
Another
But-
one is the Skechers logo.
Yeah, the Skechers logo
There's a
changed.
few that I know. I can't think of. I'm trying to think of more.
I'm just sketching something.
What else is?
Oh, there's one in Forrest Gump about saying the chocolate thing.
Oh yeah, I just watched that one recently. Forrest Gump.
I don't know though. I didn't read like what it said, but I don't remember what it said. But I know it says it doesn't say life is like a box of chocolates, so you need to look that one up.
I think it's on the middle of this. No, not that. That's what's Fruit Loop. Alternate realities.
Yep.
So it's. And that's not on there. But I'm currently going through the stuff, looking it up. But yeah, that is what the particle accelerator looks like. If you guys don't know, did you know it looked like that?
No, I thought it looked more like the thing in Flash.
This is what it looks like, the thing in Flash, but the internal components look like that.
Okay.
And also, here's another fun fact for everybody. Back in the day, when we were younger, back early 2000s, they had it at 1%. Last year, they had it at 75%. So all the little things that you've seen with the monocle and all that was them testing their experiment and looking at the outcomes for the next 2 decades. So now that they had their research, they did their time to gather statistics and facts. Now they turned it up 75%, and they're gonna see what the next effect is. And think of what's happened since they did it in 2019.
I was just gonna say I don't think they should have turned it up so high because everything, going on since they turned it on has not been good. So
I know.
no, I don't think they should turn it up that high.
We have massive earthquakes, we have aliens coming in, zombies appearing, we have weird creatures being spotted in the sky way more than normal.
Here's the one of
Here, since you mentioned this one,
so she can.
it recapped the Forrest Gump because Kaylee found the quote online.
Okay. So when he says, if you listen closely, he says life was like a box of chocolates. We're regarding all those Instagram posts I'm worried about now. Okay, well, I don't understand what he says.
What do you say,
It's
Kaylee?
not on
It doesn't really say.
there. I just seen it. I'll have to look it up again.
Oh, he says instead of life is like a box of chocolates, he said life was like a box of chocolates. He definitely didn't say was.
No, you didn't.
No.
Definitely.
I
I've watched that
remember
movie literally
You're
100
still on
times.
here.
It used to be one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I said I would play now. I've watched it like 60 times.
But what? Are you tripping over there? What are you talking about? You dick. You just leave the fucking okay, you just left, then I guess that I will just record on my own. The YouTube's still going. I got the first half. I need to edit that together. Hi, YouTube. I need to look at this. Nobody's watching. It's gonna go. No. Okay. No. You're gonna do that, having no respect, you're kicked off.
Who was it?
The other person. I'm not like, I'm in the middle of a podcast and being rude as hell. And hanging up and making me stop recording for you to video chat me. No. Anyways, it's just now me, Amber, and Kaylee because the other people left. If you want to watch the full video in its entirety and see my face, go to my YouTube channel, BioWar. You'll see what happened on there. But back to being on topic. When CERN was turned on in 2019, since then, weird stuff has been happening. Weird creatures have been appearing. Weird events. People been not even being normal people. And that's what's going into, like, we're in NPCs, people standing around staring at you, drooling. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
I feel, yeah. I feel like a lot of people are like that now. Like, they're zoned out. Like, there's, like, nothing. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
She has examples of that.
Yes,
I
when
felt
I'm
the
at
energy.
work, they're literally just standing there when I'm telling them what to do, and they're spacing, staring at the wall.
And no, before anybody comments, it's drugs. It's not drugs.
It's not drugs. I'd be like, ma'am, you need to do it this way. Dead zone, quiet. Not for 5 minutes. She's still standing there looking stupid.
The drugs in our area make people very outgoing and run around almost naked. There are not the spacey kind. If you have the kind of drugs in your area where you're spacing, why are you taking that? That's stupid.
And they make you scream. Crazy.
That's just a crack.
Yeah, pretty much crackheads. But since the when I was going with this, people staring and stuff, they're acting like NPC robots, like the Sims video game.
Oh, I love Sims.
And what this has to do with the Mandela effect is it's opposite from what people were acting like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
People were being normal. They went to work. They did their job. Now they're completely polar opposite. They're lazy as fuck, want to sit on their ass and just blame everybody.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
What?
How? Hitler? Brown eyes? The blue eyes?
Hitler?
I'm looking up examples and stuff. I zoomed in so you can see it, but like...
No, stop. Kaylee just found a thing with Hitler having brown eyes to blue eyes.
If you zoom out, there's a lot more on that chart. With a whole bunch of shit on there, but I seen that. That's weird.
Hillary Clinton's name changed from having one L to two L's in Hillary. Katy Perry from Kate to Y.
I'm gonna grab it. Okay. Thank you.
The Volkswagen changed. Yeah. Yeah, I remember Bud Light changing. It changed from Bud Light, like a light bulb, to Bud Light.
Oh yeah, I do remember that too, because it was spelled like light.
Because I always was like, why is this beer spelled like a light bulb? And I was mocking it in front of my grandma. I clearly remember that.
I don't know why, but a lot of them have to do with like movies and stuff, like the name changing or the things they said, which is kind of weird. So I wonder like why. It's more like stuff like that, you know what I mean?
I have no idea. It first started with movies and little imagery, and then turned into videos, and starting to turn into physical items, physical people. People that...
And maybe that's because the percentage they had it on. You know what I mean? When they had it at 1%, maybe it just did stuff like that, you know, like
Here's an example for you. How did Post Malone go from being skinny, next week fat, the week after that skinny again?
drugs.
Drugs or
Someone
clone?
recorded him, like on stage, like spaced out and zoned out, like he was like high off his ass.
Thank you
I
so
would have
much.
got it.
Do you want
Now
something?
to do.
Do you want a drink?
Not at the current moment.
Sorry, I was dying.
But yeah, with you don't want to comment anything else on this? Because not all podcasts will be long, not all will. Yeah. With that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Sorry for the interruptions while we were trying to talk. Have a good rest of your day. Now on this end with YouTube, did you forget about YouTube over there?
No, I kept checking it out. Just can't see myself, but it's fine.
I gotta save that. Alright. I'm sitting here editing this. Now with YouTube, anyone that's watching, you know who I am, and this is my life now with the podcast. No thanks to you. But have a good day, have a good rest of your time.